Welcome back, Duelists. Casual Duelist here, and today's deck is Machina. Why Machina? Because we get a little update with Uncla Spare in the newest set, Blazing Vortex. And also, if we're being quite honest, I was in a card shop, 2-3 days ago, and still plenty copies of the Machina Overdrive structure deck sitting out there. And again, a good bulk of the core of today's deck, even including the Solemn Strikes, are found in a $10 structure deck sitting on the shelves at your locals. So let's give you guys the list, and believe it or not, this is actually fairly budget. It doesn't get too crazy right up until my extra deck, and even then, a lot of those cards are still quite available to you. So we'll start off. We're going to run 3 copies of the Machina Air Raider. We're going to run double Citadel because he's our boss. We're going to run double Fortress because he's our mini boss. We're going to run 3 Gear Frames because he's the best. You're going to want 3 copies of a Radiator. A single Mega Form. Now, I like this. You guys can test with or without it, or you can jump the Uncla Spare up to 3, or make the Soldier up to 3. It doesn't matter. I do have a single copy Peacekeeper. I'm running 3 copies of Possessed Storage. And that did drop in the structure build. I'm running 2 soldiers this time, and I'm going to be running 2 copies of the brand new Uncla Spare from the newest set, Blazing Vortex. Moving over to the spells, I'm going to have a single Called by the Grave, single Foolish Burial. We're going to use 2 copies Iron Call, 1 very cool, very Hobby League limiter removal from the past. Again, it's just a piece of personal tech. Maybe you like this. Maybe you want to run it yourself. It does have some actual plays going into the Citadel, and I'll explain that later. We are going to run 3 copies of that semi-new spell, Machina Redeployment, also from the structure build. Monster Reborn, 1 Pot of Avarice, 1 Raigakai. Again, this isn't too hard to get your hands on. This was in the Megatin 19 or 2019, and it was also just in the last structure deck with our Charmers. So that was good. You got 2 copies of Unauthorized Reactivation. This is really the reason for Peacekeeper. Moving over to the traps, the double copy of Machina Overdrive, also from the structure deck. And then, of course, you want to round it out to 40 with 3 copies of Solemn Strike. So that's not a bad main board. And again, there's room in the side deck, the extra deck, sorry, for you guys to put your own twist on it. Again, this is just my budget build. This is supposed to be a template. I want to hear about how you guys either try this or how you guys play something similar or you improved on it, which would be fantastic. Let's talk about these. So we got the Abyss Dweller. You're going to run 1. You're going to run a Daigusto Emerald, 2 copies Gear Geigen X. I'm running a number 39, a 101 Honor Arc, and then a Utopia Lightning. And then for the links, I am going to be running my alternate art Appaloosa, my Blacklister Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Now, this is the card that's pretty much the non-budget portion of the whole deck. Got the Boral Sword, the IP Masquerena, of course, my favorite 3 Nightmares, and last but not least, Clifford Genius. And that's it. That is the deck list. So hopefully this helps you guys. If it does, please feel free to subscribe if you like. Tell your friends about the channel. Spread the word. But do me one favor. You have a great day, okay? For everybody else who wants the actual reasoning behind everything, you stick around. Everybody else, you have a great day. So we're going to start with the Air Raiders. And the Air Raiders and the Irradiators are pretty similar with their effects. And this is where things are going to get a little bit complicated. So the Air Raider, discard 1 other Machina monster, special summon this card from your hand. During the opponent's turn as a quick effect, you can target a machine monster that you control, special summon from your deck a Machina with a different name and an equal or lower level. And if you do, destroy the targeted monster. Each effect once per turn. Now, what that's going to allow you to do is, again, obviously, you could play tech machines. You could use our Xyz monsters or our Link monsters as a machine. But it really helps lock Citadel out from being too abused. and this is actually a good thing. If you did want to play them, these are 8s, so you do have rank 8 opportunities. Citadel, however, is a 10. Citadel is our next character. He's the boss. He's the reason for just about the whole build. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned by a card effect. Quick effect, you can target a machine monster you control, destroy that card, and all monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to it. So it's kind of a variant off of, let's say, Lightning Vortex spell. If a face-up Earth machine monster or monsters you control would be destroyed except a Citadel by battle or card effect while this card is in the discard pile, you can special summon this card. Each effect is a hard once per turn across all copies. But what this would allow you to do is target himself, pop himself, wipe out all your opponent's 3k or less, and then as long as you have a way to destroy one of your other cards, like a Radiator's effect, will be able to do it on your own turn and special summon from the discard pile, similar to how Air Raider wants to pull one from the deck during the opponent's turn. That could be enough to recur the Citadel afterward. So again, 2, I felt that 2 is enough. You don't need to activate the effect like crazy, because obviously you're not going to juggle both of them. And with the single Foolish Burial helping you speed loading this guy into the discard pile, 2 seemed optimal. It's a Foolish Burial is like having the 3rd. That's what you need for the consistency. You do have the Double Fortress still. This is a big fan favorite of anybody who's played Machina forever. This guy's a nice little 7-star. You can discard machine-type monsters whose levels equal 8 or more to special summon this from the hand or the graveyard. And again, this could immediately just be Citadel. Citadel for Fortress, which is good. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, select and destroy one card the opponent controls. And again, because it would be destroyed, you get to do that. And then that Citadel that you would have used to play this also gets to jump back to the field. So they trade 2,500 for a 3K. And when this face-up card you control is targeted by an opponent's effect monster's effect, look at your opponent's hand and discard one card from their hand. So again, we still have a little bit of control aspect, and that's really helpful, especially with the amount of hand traps in today's metagame that maybe we didn't experience back when the original structure deck Machine Mayhem was released and Fortress was introduced to us. Still just as good as that same day 1 release, Machina Gearframe. What's fun about this is it is a union monster, but additionally, when this card is normal summoned, you can add 1 Machina monster except Gearframe from deck to hand. And this is another way to add Unclespair, which will actually allow us to special summon it immediately. We can get into Possess storage so that we can start juggling cards. If you've got the Citadel, you can go ahead and grab the Fortress. If you just need the Fortress, you can just grab the Fortress. Literally, he just opens up the rest of the plays to the deck. And so you needed to maximize this guy at 3. Now, as an effect, the effect of being a union monster, once per turn during the main phase, it can either equip this card to a machine monster or unequip it and special summon it as a face-up attack position monster. Now, a monster can only be equipped with a single union at a time, which is... that's just how union equip works. It's a little different than regular equip. And if the equipped monster would be destroyed, I would destroy the gear frame instead. Also important to know, because sometimes you will need to do that. Again, I sort of snuck out Irradiator's effect. You discard another Machina, special summon this from the hand, target a machine that you control, special summon from the graveyard of Machina, different name, equal or lower level than that. And if you do destroy the targeted monster, each effect once per turn. Again, this is really going to allow us to build our field, build our board, and make sure that Citadel can go live every turn. Megaform, just a nice little fun character. And again, this is an 8-star, so we do have the option of playing this, especially off of Air Raider or Radiator. If this card's already in the discard or still in the deck. And again, only a single because I was just messing with this one. You can tribute this card, special summon one Machina monster from your hand or deck, except Mega Form. So that lets you play anybody, and of course that'll let you get Citadel right there. If face-up Machina Fortress you control is sent to the graveyard while this is in your graveyard, except the damage step, you can banish that fortress to special summon this card. You can only use one Mega Form effect per turn and only once that turn. So a brilliant play here is actually going into a fortress, using it for a link, or just a link, and that would send it to the discard pile, which will then allow us to transform it into the Mega Form. So that's cool too. Peacekeeper, just a single copy, and this is really for the unauthorized reactivation. Of course, we can use Gear Frame for it, but I prefer Peacekeeper. I did slim this down from 2 to 1 for today's build. While this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can add one Union from the deck to the hand once per turn during the main phase, either equip it or unequip it. And again, if it's unequipped, it's special summoned into attack position. And if the equipped monster would be destroyed, destroy this card. Again, I want to defensively usually react with the unauthorized reactivation, equip the Peacekeeper, and then watch it get popped, which will allow me to go straight into the Gear Frame. So just a little sliding my cards around to get into some advantage. Possess Storage is one of the new dark ones. It's actually a take off of the original Soldier. When this is normal or special summoned, you target one Machina monster in the graveyard except same name. Special summon that in defense mode without the can't activate its effects that turn. You can target another Machina that you control and one spell trap your opponent controls and return both cards to the hand. And you can use each effect once per turn. Again, this will allow you to pull back your bigger cards. You can pull a Radiator or Air Raider or whatever you like. And this will allow you to put it in hand. And again, if you juggle this with, I believe this works with Unclisper, because it just says that when this is added to the hand except by drawing it, you can special summon it, which will allow you to actually create a loop where we're just going to be able to bounce up our opponent's entire back row. And maybe you want to capitalize on that and play more than the 2 Unclispers that I'm playing, and that's fine. The only problem is you can only use this effect once per turn, so it's not really like an infinite bounce. It's just something that you can do real quick and then go straight into another character. Usually the play that I go here is into Nightmare Cerberus because it will let me get another destroy off. So there is that. The Soldier, I do play 2 copies of him. When this is normal summon, while you don't control any other monsters, you can special summon any Machina from your hand, except Soldier. And again, this will allow you to develop Citadel super early if the hand is right. It'll also let you get Gear Frame, which is immediately Citadel anyway too. So it's still worth playing. You do have the new character Unclisper. If this is added from the added to the hand except by drawing, special summon it, and also you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except machines, which is fine. If this is normal or special summoned, send a Machina from your deck to the discard except Unclisper. You can use each effect once per turn. Now, again, this will help you with some more setups. It's another way to add some more consistency for Citadel. But again, you can use Possess Storage and get some flow going on. Real quick, over to the spells. We got Called by the Grave, stopping hand traps and graveyard effects. Foolish Burial is, again, pretty much you want to set up a Possess Storage play or you want to set up Citadel. Iron Call is a great extender for us. If we control a machine monster, target a level 4 lower machine in the graveyard, special summon it, effects negated. Normally gets destroyed during the end phase, which is fine. If it does, boom, Citadel. If not, Link and Xyz materials. So good extender. We have the limiter removal, double up all our machines for the turn, and then destroy them all. And again, that could trigger a Citadel summoning. We get the 3 deployments. Activate one of the following effects when you activate this. Either discard 1 card to add 2 Machina monsters with different names from each other from deck to hand, or discard a Machina card and just add any 2 Machina cards. This will allow you to get your spell traps. Again, they have to be different names and they cannot be redeployment. And again, this is another great way to get Unclisper directly to the board as a quick summon. We do have Monster Reborn, kind of like the best extender in the game. Pot of Avarice, because we're going to blow through our monsters pretty quick, and it would be good to reload the deck. And again, we do get a draw too, without having to touch a lot of our extra deck. Not a lot of expensive cards going into this build. We do have the Raigakai again. We have a lot of back row disruption in our monster effects. It's good to be able to just break a board without trying and just wipe out the opponent's side. And then the last two spells are the unauthorized reactivations. Again, you got to remember it's quick play, so we got a little play on our opponent's turn. We do get to target a machine that we control, equip one appropriate machine union from the hand or the deck, which is why we only run the single Peacekeeper, to that monster. With the union monster cannot be special summoned during the turn. Again, I usually use this on my opponent's turn. Again, if they have Tornado Dragons, if they're playing, the Nightmare Engine for you, if they have Phoenix or what have you, this will still help you kind of psych them out by having a set back row that you can literally activate whenever. So, very good, very good. We do run 2 copies of the Overdrive. Now, this is a pretty fun trap. First effect, target a machine monster that you control. Special summon a Machina with a different name from the hand or deck, and if you do, destroy the first monster. And then the second effect, you can banish this card from the discard pile. Target any 3 of your machine monsters that are banished and or in the discard pile. Shuffle those cards back into your deck and then draw 1 card. You can only use 1 effect per turn and only once during that turn. So it's good. It still helps us recycle a little bit. It kind of stole from Daigusto Emerald there a little bit. But it's good. We get to activate the trap more than once. And then, of course, strikes. Again, if you were trying to play this super competitive, yeah, there were plenty of places where you could put the Ash Blossoms, the Effect Failures. This would be a place for impermanence. But this time I really was trying to just build it as a good, strong budget build. And Strike not only lets us stop that monster effect, but we can also stop a monster's special summon or summons and stop some swarms. Moving over to our extra deck real quick, we have the Abyss Dweller. I think everybody knows that this is going to stop those graveyard effects, so that's good. Emerald gives us 2 effects. We're only really going to use the first one, and that is detach material, target 3 monsters in the graveyard, shuffle them back into the deck, draw 1 card. We do have the 2 Gear Geigen X's, and again, this can allow us to play the Unclespare or go into maybe a Resavenger. Possess Storage. Resavenger wasn't in this deck. We could grab Possess Storage and start building up a board. Once per turn, you can detach material from this, add a level 4 lower machine from the deck to the grave to the hand. And when the card leaves the field, you can special summon. It doesn't matter because we don't actually play Gears, but this will let us tutor and reverse tutor from the discard pile our level 4 lower machines. Again, I think everybody understands the Utopia engine here. We simply just go from 39 straight over to S39. This means that we have an effect that is very similar to the Ancient Gears. Our opponent can now activate cards in response to this attack until it is finished. And of course, as long as it has an Xyz material underneath it, we can pop 2 and make it 5k during the damage calculation. But only when it's actually battling a monster, so direct attacks, not so much on that. And then you have your number 101 Silent Honor Arc. Detach 2 materials from this, target a special summon monster the opponent controls that's in attack mode. Attach it to this as material. And then, of course, once per turn, if the card would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, we detach material from it instead. That can help us with links, because again, they cannot exist in defense mode. Moving over to our own links, we do have Apollosa, so we could block some effect chains and try to break loops. I'm playing my very not budget Blackluster Soldier in here. And again, we are going to be using characters that are level 7 or higher as part of the material, which means that we will gain some more of the immunities of not being able to be targeted by card effects of the opponent or destroyed by the opponent's card effects. We do still want to run Boral Sword. He's still great for going for game. IP Masquerena still lets us pick and choose our play going into our opponent's turn. We still want to run Cerberus again. We still want to run Phoenix. Still want to run Unicorn. The Nightmares are great. The kind of sneaky one here is the Cliffort, and there's not too many chances for him to happen. It's just when you want to build the board with links. We needed somebody that was a machine. And to be honest, I think I could have put Union Carrier in this spot. I think Clifford Genius was maybe just a little bit stronger. The effect here is this Link Summon card is unaffected by spell trap effects and the activated effects of other Link monsters. Once per turn, target a face-up card on each player's field except this card, and they both have their effects negated until the end of the turn, which is actually a really good effect and really the reason why he won out today. And then the cool effect that I can't do, when two monsters are special summoned at the same time to zones this card points to, add a level 5 or higher machine monster from deck to hand. Now again, we were able to use this fairly well in the Mech Lords because, and I'm going to forget its name, but there was a monster that broke apart and would let us get two at the same time. So it was a much better play in that deck. And then, of course, we were able to generate into our Astro, no, it wasn't Mechanical. I think it was Triskelia. And Clifford Genius still able to get some Nullify and let us do some control aspect. And that's why he made the cut today. Even though we actually could have used the Union Carrier and equipped our machine unions from the deck. So that is the budget-built Machina deck. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this. All of the things, and you guys have a great day, and I'm going to get back to work. I kind of want to get Chaos, Blue Eyes Chaos Max by Saturday, so I got a couple days to get that in, and I'm going to get to it. So you guys have a good one.